said no.
Just hearing things.
Alright, now man.
Like, yes.
Hearing what I want to hear.
Good?
Yep.
All right. We're the Forum, and this is Wounds. Precipitation comes in sheets, a premeditated soaking, shivering and grit your teeth, and your hair is smoking. Run around and race the rain with intoxicating wonder, coming down, embrace the pain, feel the thunder. But I can feel it coming out of your eyes when you know I'm not around, and I know why you say to me, I don't want your bad energy, and I can feel it coming out of your eyes, but your lips don't make a sound, and I know why you say to me, I don't want your bad energy anymore. I know this all seems so in vain. You scream, but it's a whisper, and the dawn is still the same, and it's a taste so bitter. Yes, I know my head is flawed, and I'm attacking like a lion, biting, scratching with the claws. But at least I'm trying, and I can feel it coming out of your eyes when you know I'm not around, and I know why you say to me, I don't want your bad energy, and I can feel it coming out of your eyes, but your lips don't make a sound, and I know why you say to me, I don't want your bad energy anymore. There was a piece of your hair when I got home, wrapped around the telephone. I never felt this way before. And there was a piece of your hair when I got home, wrapped around the telephone. I never felt this way before. There was a piece of your hair when I got home, wrapped around the telephone. I never felt this way before. There was a piece of your hair when I got home, wrapped around the telephone.
right, so today we're with the Forum for On the Couch. You guys want to introduce yourself? We'll go my left to right.
Hello. Am I looking at this camera?
Yep.
Or okay.
However you want.
Okay. Hi. My name is Jake, and I'm the bassist.
I'm Nick. I play guitar and I play synth.
I'm Ethan. I'm the drummer.
I'm Michael. I play guitar and I sing.
I know where you start. Couldn't run from there.
All right, and where are you guys from?
We
You want to go the way? You're all from general.
We formed in Gainesville.
Formed in Gainesville, okay. But you're not all, are you all like originally from Gainesville or no?
None of us are.
None of you are.
Right, yeah.
So why'd you all end up in Gainesville? Like, what brought you guys all to Gainesville?
UF.
UF? All of you were UF?
Mm-hmm.
So did you meet at college?
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Like that, we were all in college when we met.
But you didn't meet like on campus?
No, we met like through unusual methods.
How did you meet?
Craigslist.
Whoa, the Craigslist band.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I thought you were about to throw something like really left field. Be like, yeah, we met on Tinder.
Yeah.
The band formed. But no, Craigslist. I mean, it's a little more tame. But
Pretty left field, right?
I mean, it's still left field. I was like expecting just the craziest. So
We can do that.
yeah. I mean, next member. If you guys ever needed someone else, I just gave you, the next method. It's the future.
Start on Tinder.
Yeah. So you guys just put out 2 new songs, right? Do you want to talk a bit about each of them? Talk about like what was your inspiration for them? What was the writing process like? Whoever wants to just.
Start with number 1. When did everything fade? That's all Nick. Nick wants to talk about that.
Oh yeah.
Do I want to talk about it?
Yeah. You.
So I had an idea for the song When Did Everything Fade? I brought it to the guys and we just kind of brought it to life. Happened very quickly. We usually write over a period of time, but this all took place over a couple weeks and then do it in the studio.
Sweet.
And here we are.
What was is the idea personal, or can you talk about it?
It is personal, actually. The song, the lyrics actually are a lot about my life and kind of everything that I was going through.
Mm-hmm.
A new job, new friends, relationships that it kind of ended. So
Mm-hmm. So did you write all the lyrics, or was most of the lyrics, or?
this is our brilliant lyricist right
Ooh.
now. He took a lot of ideas that I had. Like he asked me like the thoughts I had when I wrote the song, and I kind of explained it to him. And then he took a simple idea, and this man wrote brilliant lyrics to fit.
So was it kind of like a therapy session? You lay down on the bed, he had the notepad.
Oh, you were there, yeah.
Yeah. Sometimes it feel therapeutic when you like put feelings into a song?
Oh,
I guess it's kind of a question to all you guys. Like,
Wildly therapeutic.
it's been like makes you, it really help. That's cool.
We get to play that song to people who feel the same way or relate to it, or they
Yeah.
just sing the words back, and that's the most ridiculous thing that's ever happened, and I think we love that.
Yeah, that has to be crazy when you like put your past and your feelings into a song, and then
Oh, yeah.
people sing it right back to you. That's great. So what about the second song?
The second song is Wounds. That's my favorite. We've been playing Wounds for a while now. I think like a year and change. And it's gone through a lot of work. If you had heard Wounds like the first time we played it a year ago, you probably wouldn't recognize it if not for like the lyrics or whatever. But that song has gone through a very reiterative process, and we felt at the end of last year that it was time to finally put it to paper, or put it to record, I guess. We felt that we had we had given it all we should give it, because if you go overboard with something, you end up doing too much, and there's just too much going on. So we decided, okay, we're going to do Wounds, and we're going to do something else, and eventually When Did Everything Fade came around and became the obvious pick.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I love Wounds. I love what we did with it in the studio. I love our producer and how he was so involved in making it come to life, adding his little splash of inspiration there.
So what was the process like? Like, I mean, I've heard Wounds like throughout its process. Do you want to explain how it started and how it's kind of evolved over the course?
Yeah. So from like very conception, Michael came over to my house and we He had a couple ideas, just like very basic ideas. I think you had some lyrics to it, but it was just a very basic progression. And we played through it, and I was like, oh, it's really cool. Like, it's kind of different than something we normally do. It's more of like a poppier progression. So like, okay, we could do something with that. And then we ended up playing it live for the first time as an acoustic version of itself, which was interesting. We had known that it wasn't going to be an acoustic song, but at the time, the situation demanded we needed something more stripped back. So that was actually the first time anybody had heard it. And from that point, it was literally just, I feel like every time we played, there was something new we did with it. At least that's what I did. There would be like a new way I would take the bridge, or like a new little something I would add on. Just testing out ideas and whatever. And that process went on for like, when do you think Wounds was done?
Probably about a year ago. Yeah, probably like closer to the spring of last year.
Started spring, like before the tour?
Yeah, it probably went through like 6 months of live revisions before we started demoing it. And then it went through like 6 more months of revisions. So.
And even when we got into the studio, we changed things.
Yeah.
We changed
Yeah.
the bridge, we changed,
Add the outro.
A lot of the textures are different, yeah.
So,
It's to show you can never make up our minds.
what was the inspiration for that song? Like lyrics and stuff. Is that one also personal?
Yeah, I wrote that one a long time ago, so I don't even really recall what headspace I was in, but that song is just from the standpoint of like understanding that like if you're going through something, whether it's like a relationship, friendship, that kind of thing, like there's another side of it that someone else is going through too, and it's kind of just like coming to terms with and understanding that there's, you know, you're not the only person affected by a lot of things, by most things. So that's where that one comes from.
Awesome.
All right, this is My Chest Is Your Dance Floor.
Blood can't bleed from an empty heart. Sick and stoned, you stick alone. You hold on to what couldn't be. As I was trying to keep it together, I got carried away like the wind on a feather, grasping the ground with its changing the weather, a refuge in a memory. But now it's kind of broken and it can't be stopped. You keep on waiting for that heartbeat drop by. Never been one to slam the door, so use my chest as your dancing floor.
So we're gonna move to shows a bit from music. So 2020, or at the beginning of 2020, for 2019, what was your favorite show you guys played in 2019?
Probably have different answers.
Yeah, if you guys want to go down the line again, different answers for each person.
It's hard to like parse through.
Played a lot.
We played a lot of shows. That's the thing. I'll give like highlights. My top ones would definitely be. At the end of last year, we opened for Last Dinosaurs, which was very fun, very surreal and gratifying to be able to play with a band like that. And the show at the very start of the year. We started 2019, it was Ethan's first show, and it was like a sold out venue in Gainesville. Like, I don't think we had ever played for an audience that size before.
Yeah, great crowd.
It was crazy.
Like the best of what Gainesville bands has to offer pretty much for that show, so it was pretty hype.
Awesome. Sweet.
I'd say Back to School Fest was.
That was good too.
Yeah.
It was like this outdoor like back to school festival in Gainesville. There was like 6 like really good bands on, and there were way more people than we imagined, and it was really cool. So that was one of my favorite that he hadn't said.
Awesome. Yeah, and tonight you guys are playing Sarbez, right? So they have killer grilled cheese that we've talked about before. What are each of your favorite kinds of grilled cheese? Very important question.
Ooh, they have the one with hash browns on it, right? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that one.
The breakfast one.
Yeah, that one's really good. Hash browns. Yeah. That's such a good addition to grilled cheese. It's incredible.
Hash browns? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I feel like hash browns are a good addition to almost anything.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously not everything, but like hash browns are pretty good.
Yeah, it goes perfectly. That's mine.
I think there was one. They do like a lot of cool stuff with grilled cheese. It's hilarious. Like I love when places do that though. They like take a very commonplace item and dress it up. They have one called, I think it's called the Green Ranger, where it's like green apple and brie cheese, and maybe like something else, some kind of condiment, but it's really good. It's delicious.
That's interesting. Green apple.
Their vegan option is really good too. Vegan cheese is good.
Sweet. Yeah, sometimes vegan cheese is hard to make good sometimes. Like you have to have good vegan cheese and cook it right to make vegan cheese good. So it's good they have that. Do you guys have favorites or were they?
I haven't had enough to really have a favorite, but the breakfast one is good.
You guys might hate me for saying this, but I assumed all grilled cheese was the same.
You don't like grilled cheese?
I thought they were all identical. It's bread and cheese.
You don't have like
but
a
different ways you
preference?
Your palate.
It's like it's all bread and cheese.
I guess.
There's nothing wrong with it. It's great. I love variety.
So moving on to like personal life a bit, what do each of you do outside of the forum? Like job, school, work, everyone's working.
Yeah, I work for Parks and Recreation in Orlando. I work with like youth and adult sports programs and recreational activities and just kind of like administration, things like that.
Sweet.
So I actually just graduated from UF, and now I'm doing a job at the Escape game in Orlando. It's like a game guide.
Awesome.
It's cool, like special ops game.
Well, congrats on graduating.
Thank you.
We gotta go do that.
I work in the radiology department at a hospital in Gainesville, and I'm still a full-time student as well. And I don't sleep.
That sounds fun.
He still comes out the shows.
Yeah.
I don't understand how Nick operates. For real. I do contract and freelance work in Orlando with production kind of stuff.
Sweet. So what are the challenges? What are the challenges that come with, like having work, school, and a band? What challenges have you guys experienced trying to balance everything?
Driving to and from every show we play in the same day.
Yeah,
That's my big challenge.
I'd say just scheduling everything is very tough just because we all have different schedules. They don't line up at all. So yeah, that can be very tough on top of the driving that we're doing just because we live in different places. So it's all great.
So is it hard to meet up sometimes with all the schedules?
Yeah, very hard.
Especially for practice and like, whenever we can get it.
I think we all sacrifice a great deal
Yeah.
to still be able to do this.
Mm-hmm.
We all go without sleep. We all go driving ridiculous amounts, and somehow we're still here.
Somehow.
Do you ever, since it's like kind of hard to schedule, do you guys ever do anything like over the internet, any kind of like work, or do you just try to keep it strictly to like in person?
We probably should. That would be a good idea.
We
We don't
do.
talk nearly
What's the
enough
internet?
about that kind of stuff. But it's mostly been in person when we've done actual like writing or practicing.
I mean, that makes sense. There's a certain like feel you get when you're in person versus like just sending files over the internet kind of thing. But
We do that if.
Like voice memos, recordings.
Yeah.
If one of us have something.
Yeah, most of the like internet-based planning and stuff is mostly just like scheduling, like things that we can knock out like just by like posting in our like group. But
Yeah.
most of the writing and things like that, we're much better doing that in person, where we can kind of like sit with it instead of kind of just like responding to something, you know. Like
Mhm.
we can like actually like
Yeah,
work
yeah.
with it. So yeah.
so what do you have like, if you're doing a bunch of driving, do you have like certain things you listen to? Is there like favorite podcasts, bands that you always are like standby bands for listening for long drives, or?
I like to mix it up.
It depends on the who's in the car.
Yeah.
Depends on like the combination of who's driving.
Mhm.
Sometimes I'll give it to the passenger and just let them play whatever. But if I don't trust them, I have stuff that'll put on. I generally try not to like repeat things too much though. I feel like I get bored of, or not bored, but like if I listen to something over and over again, it gets kind of grating.
Who are the trustworthy passengers, and who are the non-trustworthy passengers?
Anybody in here is a trustworthy passenger.
Oh,
I just
okay.
have some friends and family who.
I thought there were like certain bandmates that you're
Oh,
like,
no.
all right, you guys don't get
Yeah,
off.
Ethan puts on hits like every time he gets in the car.
And they're all Tame Impala.
It's all.
Not all the
Yeah.
I am a Tam Paul fan now.
So we talked about like putting personal stuff in songs with your two new ones. Has there ever been something that's too personal to put into a song? Like that you can think of, like it was just
Things I haven't
too much.
sorted through yet.
That's fair.
New stuff, yeah.
It takes you like let it ruminate for a while before you put it into
Yeah, and
lyrics.
it's like I'm not always like. A lot of our lyrics are based on like multiple things.
Mhm.
It's like something I've gone through, but also something I've seen like other people try and work through. Just like silent parts of life that I know that people are going through. So a lot of the time, it's also like waiting until I know enough about what emotion I'm trying to write about. I think, which isn't always based on something like new that happened in my life. Like sometimes I'll like wait until, you know, I'm thinking back to something that, you know, a situation from a year ago, something like that. So it's kind of different every time. But yeah, usually it's like combined experiences. So
Sweet. So we're gonna end on like a bit of a big hitter. Where do you each see the band in like 5 years?
right here.
Right.
We'll be like on a reunion tour.
Yeah,
It's like
the breakups next
because
year.
we're breaking up
Yeah.
at the end of this year.
Gotcha.
And like since pop culture is condensing,
Mm.
people will start doing reunion tours. Yeah. Like 3 years after they broke up.
You could probably do one the year after.
Yeah.
So like this is our.
It's definitely coming up soon. I feel like the reunion.
I don't know. They're each individually doing a lot.
I know,
We should
but-
answer the question though.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's good.
That's right.
5 years. I don't know. Hopefully, doing stuff around the country.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's my go-to answer. It's playing shows in many cities we've never been to.
I feel like a cross country, like maybe House of Blues kind of venue size tour around.
That's sweet.
It's that level.
Yeah.
Even better.
Because you guys did like kind of like an East Coast mini tour recently, right? But you haven't been to like West Coast area yet, right? So that'd
I
be
wanna
sweet.
Play for like 5 people who know us in Seattle. That's my goal.
Yeah.
I mean, that sounds like a sweet show when there's 5 people that know you in
5 people
Seattle.
is like a lot. Yeah.
Sweet. Awesome. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for the interview.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming. We're going to do some music.
All right. This is Comet.
Lonely headache sparks my memory. A handsome mistake. You let me down so gently.